Welcome back to another video. My name is Kyle and I suck at budgeting. All right, here we go. We got our first paycheck of the month of May come in, and I've been holding off on doing a whole bunch of transactions and things for the video. Honestly, I mean that's why there are overspend categories and stuff, and this number is wrong and a whole bunch of stuff. So let's jump right into YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget. And let's get this taken care of. While I'm doing this, just a quick note again, I did hit 300 subscribers, and thank you so much for getting me up to 300. I do appreciate it. So we got a lot to take care of today. We got 2 overspend categories. We've got double the money that we should have and ready to assign. So let's go ahead and figure this all out. Let's start with going to bonus checking, and let's cover these transactions and get them taken care of. So Raising Cane's is good. This is not good. So we're going to fix that in a second. And this we're going to change. So let's get this into a clothing category. How about shoes? Nope, don't have one of those. We're going to create let's create a clothing category. Clothes, I can't spell. Oh, it's a hidden category. Yes. Let's put it there and we'll move that on. We'll unhide that in a second. So I'll talk about what happened with this $176.14. We're just going to approve it for right now. Raising Cane's is good to go, and we can approve that. This one is not good to go. So what happens is I put in a recurring scheduled transaction for my paycheck, and sometimes it's got an extra penny in there, and because of that extra penny, it doesn't match up correctly. So I just need to take these two and then match them, and that will fix that. It'll fix my ready to assign amount, and I can now approve the transaction, and that should fix everything. We should have that's perfect. $2,676 and a penny. Ooh, that's a bad warning message. I'll have to fix that later. All right. So yeah. Next, what do we have next? We've got a mortgage payment that came out. So I mentioned in my last video, I was going to be overdrawn for my mortgage because of the way the mortgage fell this month, and I was just going to virtually cover it using the keyboard fund, which is what I've done. But now that it's done, we need to cover this with ready to assign. Sorry, I'm in the wrong place. We're going to cover this with ready to assign. And okay, that should fix that, which gives us $2,021.40 to deal with. Let's get this hidden category unhidden. And I don't like that. So I had this category hidden, and it doesn't show up as overspent. That's a potential bad thing. I wonder how they could fix that so that it still shows up as overspent, even though it's hidden. It'd be an interesting one. All right. So here's what happened. Should we go big screen for a little story time? Let's go big screen for a little story time. So I have had over the years very bad issues with plantar fasciitis. I had it at one point in both of my feet at the same time. Could not walk. Really, really bad stuff. So I've done a lot of stuff to remediate that. And at the beginning of the week, I was like, I feel it coming back in my left foot. My left foot is the worst one out of the two. And I was like, I really need new shoes. And I have gone through shoes, and it's just, they are getting so cheaply made these days. It's absolutely ridiculous. I paid, I think, $125 for my last pair of shoes, and I wore through most of the tread in about 3 months. I don't walk all that much. Like, there's no reason that we should have had that much wear on a pair of shoes in 3 months. So as of last summer, I did a whole bunch of research into the Birkenstock sandals, and I came across these videos of people like rebuilding them and, putting new soles on them. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm watching these videos. Like, I've got in my garage, I've got a sander, like a belt sander. I've got an oscillating sander. I've got glue and I've got a knife. I'm going to start replacing my own soles. So when my feet started to hurt, picked up some Birkenstock Bostons, and I am done with other shoes for at least for now. I'm going to be wearing Birkenstocks nonstop. I might pick up another pair when it comes close to winter, but these are going to be my shoes for the summer. I got my Birkenstock sandals on now, and that's how I'm rocking these days because I am not spending $130 for a pair of shoes that are going to be lasting me 3 months. It's not happening. Sorry. A little riled up about that one. All right. So I have to cover 100, but here's the thing, it's $176. It's like, but again, I can replace the soles much cheaper than a new pair of shoes going forward, and they should last quite a long time. So let's cover this with ready to assign. Rant over. All right. So we've got to finish funding the mortgage, the other stuff, and let's get going with that. So mortgage needs another $654.62. And our old-fashioned word needs another $250. Oop. How about putting a plus sign there so we don't look stupid? Eating out gets another $200. Gas gets another $160. So we're good with all of that. Excellent. Dog food's going to be good for a while, so we're not going to do that. We're actually going to let's snooze that one. Shift Z, awesome command. And for those that don't know this, like it's you can't snooze multiple categories without the keyboard shortcut. So if I wanted to snooze these, I can hit Shift Z and I can snooze all of them at once. So just a little tip for you. So let's undo that. Excellent. So yeah, that's gonna be snoozed. Dog vet we're gonna keep for a little while. So here's kind of what I've been thinking with this dog vet thing and the emergency fund and a whole bunch of other things that are coming up. So I'm on schedule to pay off my Jeep in July. And the plan after that is to fund my keyboard. And then instead of investing right away, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fund my dog vet. I'm going to fund some emergency funds for my car and a few other, house emergency funds, just so I've got money put aside for that before I start investing a little bit more, just so I feel a little bit more comfortable with that. So that's what's going to happen there. So while there's not $1,000 in here, in a couple months there will be. So the emergency fund is going to get snoozed because they're going to put that money towards the keyboard fund. That's what I've decided to do. We've got garden funded. Backup debit's going to stay the same. These are some of the categories that I'm going to start funding after the Jeep is paid off. So, so let's go here. We've got our non-monthly bills, and we're just going to hit the underfunded button. There's no sense in going through each of those individually. It's only $80-something. So, I do think that some of these are going to come off. I'm probably going to stop the Nintendo Online after this year. I've got till December to decide, so I'm going to revisit that in December. And this 1Password, it's about to come out. I have to check on the exact date. It might have hasn't pulled yet, but it's coming out soon. And I'm moving over to Bitwarden. And I'm going to self-host it myself, not for the price, but because I'm back and forth between Windows and Mac and Linux these days. 1Password only works on the Mac with my license, and it's kind of annoying. So, 1Password's going to probably stop after this year. I'm not ready to make the switch, so I'll probably keep it going for another year, and then over the next year, migrate out of 1Password into it'll actually be Vaultwater, not Bitwarden. But yeah. So then there's that. That's all good. And we've got domains and hosting. And we're going to do the same thing at $65. We're going to do the underfunded button. And we've got $431.24. and 282.50 or 282.30 rather. Is that right? I think that's what it is. Let me go back a couple months and see what we put into the emergency fund number. I think it's 282.30. Where's my emergency fund? Let's go back. Why can't I see it? I'm pretty sure it's 282.30 that goes in there every month. I could just go here. Emergency fund. Yep, 282.30. That's what it is. Whew. So that's going to go towards the keyboard fund, which gives $148.94 left over. Where are we going to put that? I have an idea. So let's just go to underfunded. Let's see what is still outstanding. So we've got mortgage extra. This we're going to snooze, this music and nature camp. This is going to get funded after the keyboard gets bought. So I'm going to snooze that for a little while. We're going to fund this 109.10, which gives us $39.84. What are we going to do with that? I don't know. I think what we'll do with it is, for now, we're just going to stick it into a month ahead, I guess. $39.84. That should be good. I think that's enough for today. Yeah. So we'll see you all next time for our next video, which will be the closeout of May. And that's all we're going to do. Have a good one. Hope your budgets are going well. See ya.